The world is in a massive transition. Are you prepared? Hi, I'm Reverend Tracy L, and I am here to help you navigate through these uncharted waters. Many experts told me it was not possible to repair, regenerate, and restore my body. I proved them all wrong. Isn't it time for you to reclaim what is rightfully yours? If your answer is yes, then I invite you to join me while I will help you embrace the new earth and unlock your unlimited potential. Let's connect every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on the Tracy L Clark Show, as featured on Transformation Talk Radio. The old ways of connecting are done, so let's embrace together the new and unleash the superhuman within. Welcome, everybody. Another Tuesday. It's so great to have you here. Can you believe that we are already heading into September? A lot of changes, a lot of transitions, and a lot of things happening and unfolding around the world. Today, if you have a question, please submit it into our Transformation Talk Radio email, and I'm going to answer as much as I can versus just calling in. Why? Because it's the end of the month. There's a lot happening, and I want to try to adjust and shift as many of your questions as possible because they're really, really important. If you joined me last week on our book launch for the 31 Days of Prayer, you had a great time. If you are in our free membership site, you can watch it there. The replay is up there, and you can get a lot of prayers and activations that we did for the world, and a lot for the world. You know, what I want to share with you guys today is this weekend, I was looking back at this last 2 years and my journey and many journeys that I have gone on with many of you and our new listeners and our older listeners and people I've worked with. And your health is so important. And I teach this a lot, how important it is to be healthy and strong. And it's been really interesting to watch and listen to a lot of the narrative that's out there. I really, truly believe that energy work and really understanding this is going to be the big wave of the future, not how we've lived. And what a lot of people forget, and they get irritated and they get triggered and they don't want to look at it and they want to keep their head in the sand and, you know, and they go in their little, like, but my ears, that's crazy. I don't want to know that. Their whole world's about to come crashing down. Their whole world is about to come crashing down. If you haven't been awake, these people are going to get a mass awakening, but it has to happen. You have the power within you to heal and restore your body. I did it. I spent 32 years listening to experts like what you're listening to now. And when I left, and I'm like, I'm not paying for that anymore. I'm going to go pay and learn, how do I become empowered? I need something different because this isn't working. When I found energy work and understood how to take back my power, how to follow what my body was telling me, how to not be afraid to set boundaries. You know, look at right now, we live in a world where it's really interesting. The narrative for so long, don't bully, right? Don't bully. Yet what's happening is people are bullying. The bullies are all up here. They're all over. You hear them, mainstream media, government, they're bully, do this or else. You know, something that happened where I live on the weekend, and this is how this affects your energy if you don't understand what's happening, is in one of our main papers, front page article. You can go Google it. It was a Toronto Star. Front page article was, I don't care if those unwilling to, you know, do this or whatever, take that medicine. I don't care if they die, in big letters. Wow. Think about that if that was any other context. I don't care if they die. When any energy is wishing ill will on somebody else and publicly putting it in mainstream, you know that is not energy that is working for you. Rather than an article should say, I get these people are really afraid of what's happening right now, or maybe these people, you know, whatever the dialogue would be. But how do we help each other to come and not have division? Anything that creates division in your own body. Anything that creates separation in your body if you're following it. Think about this for a minute. Those become curses on the body. So if you read that and you've had other people that wish you ill will or wanted ill will, you can pick that up in your body, and it can show up at any time. I have people that have come into our academies and they get very angry, and they get very angry with what you're saying. Even though they see proof, they get very angry because they can't break up with the old system. What's happening right now, and how do you take charge of your body? How do you heal yourself? Is you have to break up with these old systems, and they're breaking up. They're falling. They're falling. I would say we got to get to September, October, but this winter, those old systems are falling. And so many people are in denial. Well, that's the same denial that doesn't allow your body to repair and restore and regenerate. When you have the strongest connection to the God of your understanding, when that connection, no one can waver it, can make you waver, you get transformation. It's that manipulation energy. It's that seeding that goes in there that makes you waver, and they get you. Think about this last 2 years. If you're awake, you're going to get this. Go through this last 2 years. If you're just listening, follow what I'm saying. If the biggest violation or the biggest fear that humanity has is around their health. Why? Because without your health, you don't have anything else. I know this. I had 3 near-death experiences. Without your health, you are not, if you're sick, you are not focusing on creating the new earth. You're not focusing on creating a better life. You're not focusing on the joys and the fun. You're focusing on the pain and the suffering or the addictions. I know I've been there. I've been there. But when you start to reclaim your inner health, when you start to realize you have the power to change, this draconian energy that has been not wanting to let go for so long, and it's going to let go. It's going to let go. You're going to see, and a lot of people are going to have their jaws dropped. It's going to happen. And I will tell you that when you let go of that narrative, transformation will happen in your life. You will have more people in your life that will start to align with you. But it's not easy because people want to be told what to do. And when you actually take ownership and accountability, you can start to heal your world. That's what I did. Some stuff went fast, some stuff went slow, but that's what I did. And I know it worked. And I know it works because I know that we are all entitled to miracles. We are all entitled to be healthy. That is our birthright. Your birthright as a sovereign being and a child of God is to be healthy, to be strong, to be vibrant. So look at these last 2 years, let alone the censorship. We're not going to go there. We already know that's happening, which tells you something's wrong. That's what draconian energies do, dark energies. But where is the narrative every day of empowerment? You know, maybe let's teach you, change your diet, up your vitamin D. Like a lot of people don't know, you get a lot of flus and colds that come in September because the vitamin D levels drop. You can go Google that, you find that. But I also say to people, if you are in a place where I am, where it gets cold, the vitamin D levels drop, you're going to take that vitamin D to avoid getting stuff down the road or lessen it or whatever, right? Body knows what to do. Your body is this incredible instrument. There was no narrative around health and restoration. It was take this medicine, take this medicine, take this medicine for something that if you look, go do some research. It has a 99 point whatever recovery rate with your natural immunity. People are afraid to look outside of the box, and they're very scared to look outside of the box right now. When you look outside of the box, there is a new learning. And when you have to unlearn everything. So imagine how overwhelming it becomes. You're unlearning every part of your world. This is why I'm with my communities every day. This is why when I'm in my academies, we're learning, we are relearning. We're going to have to learn a new financial system. We're going to have to learn how to run with less governments. You're going to have to learn how to have a new school system. We're going to have to learn how to reprogram into your power, into your strength, into your abilities. And when this is the greatest fear that's gone on in the last couple of years, which is going to unfold over the winter. This is the greatest fear that these energies that have run the world for 2000 years has, that people wake up and realize how powerful you are, that the integrative approach works, the togetherness works, the love works. So anything that comes from anger and fear, now having blips of it is normal human emotion. Having it constantly imprinted into your field day after day after day is not normal. And what it does is it goes into your energetic field and it starts to grab on anywhere in the energetic field that you have lived with fear or sickness or illness or diseases. People are the biggest parasite affecting another person's health. Listen to that. I teach this in body regeneration. We are doing 3 modules over the winter. You can check them out on the website. They'll be coming soon. You can email your question in if you want me to answer some questions. I do have some from the Facebook, so I'm going to do that as well. We're going to get to them today. People are the biggest reason that other people get sick. And people don't ever want to hear that. People get their back up. That's not true. I can tell you, I have seen people make other people sick over and over and over. Why? Go back to a simple thing. You're in a relationship. You don't like that relationship anymore. That relationship isn't working. If you're being called names, I have seen parents mentally speak horrible words into their children and wonder why their children get sick. I have seen people yell and scream. Somebody sent me something the other day, I turned it off. This woman was so irate about people that wear masks. And what came out of her mouth was absolutely beyond sad. People's energy can come like knives into another's energy. So if you've been in that relationship and you are saying ill will words to each other, you are not in that love and harmony, and there is disconnection and there is separation. That energy gets stuffed into your field if you do not know how to not accept it. So one of the things you can say, and I've taught this for a long time, that's easy, is I'm not consenting. I'm not consenting. I don't consent. You can just put your hand up, talk to the hand kind of thing, but it's like, I'm not consenting. When you go to the place, no consent, you start to observe. Why is this person doing this? Sometimes, usually it's their own fear. Right now, what I see is people's own fear being projected at other people. And it's being allowed. Like last I checked, putting hate speech on front pages of papers was not to be allowed, but it's happening and it's being allowed. And the powers to be are allowing it, which means they want that energy to get imprinted into another person. They want that fear. They want that hate. That is not of God. You look at something and you say the fear, the hate, the hurt. When it starts to get so bad, that energy flows into the other person. We're all connected. We're all connected. But when you can rise above it and come into that vibration of love and kindness and acceptance and understanding that you can agree to disagree, that you can look at something from a different point of view, but to ask to go in and say, okay, thank you, God. Show me the truth about this. What am I missing? What is there something I need to see? What do I need to see? How do I want to grow more? Our space should always be to grow more, to push more. I like I said, when I push people, I'm constantly doing this work myself every day. What I teach and what I bring to you guys, I do every day. And I see people and it's okay. They get to a plateau and they can't do anymore. And then you will become their target. And you're not their target because you've done anything wrong. You're their target because they can't look within. This is what's happening right now in the world. People are so afraid. You already know all of these systems, they've been dismantled. It will come out. you will see it. And then what happens? You want to be in the love, the understanding, the I'm willing to learn. That's the energy that you want to focus on. That's the energy that will start to transition and change. So I always say to people, what is in your atmosphere that you're letting in? What is being spoken in that sphere? How are those people in your home? How are you contributing to each other? Higher vibrations of love and understanding. How are the people at your work contributing? Anything that is forced upon you at any time, forced upon you at any time, is not of God, is not of God. When it's forced, you have free will as a child of God. So when it's forced upon you, it will start to go through the energetic system and start to crumble. Now, remember, your emotions, what's happening out here, outside your body here, as they're coming in, right? Coming in through the subconscious. What happens is it comes through the hard drive. I always say it's the hard drive. Just like your computer, you have a hard drive. Your hard drive can get full. Your hard drive gets full. When it gets full, it needs to move the energy somewhere. So there's two things that happen in your body. The energy, either you release it, you realize I'm not consenting, that's not mine, you let that person go. They're not contributing. And you'll notice if you've ever let people go in your life, this is a really common theme. If they know each other at some level, they gravitate to each other. They'll gravitate and you'll become their target. They gravitate because they need to validate things that they're not willing to look inside. When you got to stop validating, you got to stop justifying. We're growing, we're changing, we're shifting. So either you cut that off and you move that through, or what you do is if you don't cut it off, it moves to an organ, right? So if that energy isn't released out of the heart, out of your heart drive, which is your most powerful frequency for creation, it's going to go somewhere else in the body. And when it goes somewhere else in the body and you still haven't dealt with it, that's when those issues show up energetically. I'm giving you the energetic perspective. I'm not anti-medicine or vitamins. People ask me that all the time. I think there's a combination. And when I look at the body energetically from what I know and what I've learned and understood, they're fine for short term. The problem is you're not supposed to be on them long term. When you're on long term, you're masking it. You're not looking at the root of the cause of why it's there, which can be for a lot of things. And we had a lady in our Miraculous Academy just the other day. She has this rash. This rash came up and it didn't want to go away. So when I looked at the timeline, I could see the rash was connected to a certain age when she was a child. And I said, you've got a situation that went on there that's actually playing out now, right? So that's where the energy tied. So she was like, yeah, I do. This was something that was related to something in her family, which was now a reflection coming out now in the body because it needs to be dealt with. So that's why it's there. So thank you, God, for showing me that it needs to be dealt with. And now it's about looking at the external. So one, releasing any feelings or issues around that irritation and powerlessness that she felt at that time as a child, that had to go. Thank you, God. The next part is going now into this space of who is a similar reflection to that idea of what she had, who is a similar reflection of that energy. So when you pull that energy out, then you can start to collapse the timelines. The body doesn't need to deal with it anymore. It releases out of the body. Thank you, God. It starts to repair. And then you don't need those creams or ointments anymore. They're gone. They're gone. So meant to look. So when your body has a physical issue, this is why you have the power to heal. You have that power. But now think why all these energies don't want you to fully grasp that, why they get angry when we say this. But this is the way. This is the new way. And it will be the new way, because in the new earth that we're building, whether it's your health, your wealth, whatever, it stems around love. It stems around service. It stems around educating and teaching you what you can change in your life to sustain a beautiful, miraculous, healthy life and manifesting and creating. This world we've lived in is take a pill, take a pill, take a pill, take a pill, which band-aids. Sometimes you need a pill, but not over and over. Not one, not two, not three, not four. Like, where does it stop? It stops when people wake up because they're realizing, people are understanding that they have all this power. Take back your power. I know if I didn't take back my power and I just kept giving it over, okay, and giving it over, okay, I'll keep giving, I would be dead today. I know that for a matter of a fact. And this is why I get so passionate about body regen. This is why I get so passionate about people learning and really absorbing it, because you go out in your world and you pass that on and you help a family, you help a loved one. And one of the things about energy that nobody really wants to talk about, and they all think you're crazy, is when you deal with issues now and you become happy and you become healthy and you're vibrant, what happens, you can kibosh things so they don't show up later in life. You can get rid of those things from showing up later in life. They're manifesting because you haven't dealt with them. You have the power. I want to take some questions, but oh my gosh, you guys have the power. You have the power. There is power in community. And I know what it's like. This is why I built the communities the way I have. You know, I was alone on my journey. Everyone thought I was a wingnut 18 years ago. And I didn't care because there was that inside of me I knew. And I even see people today that are like, that is so nutsy. That is crazy. And their lives are crap. They're crap because they're so scared to look at something different. You can have as much money in the world as you want, guys, but you're not taking it with you. Why don't you have a healthy, vibrant life? Learn how to restore, repair your body, have fun with it, play with it, dance in the energy of it, dance with that hand of God, that connection of the God of your understanding. Bring that power through. No right and no wrong, no rules other than love. And when you can do that, those are the memories you leave behind. Those are the imprints you want to leave behind. That's what you want to leave behind. And do a check-in with yourself, because the brave souls, we can check in and go, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh my gosh, I need to apologize. Oh my gosh. The souls that want to keep their heads in the sand like the ostrich, you're going to need to help them this winter. Trust me. Get your double fist of popcorn out, because I'm telling you, we are going to be in... I actually said this quite a while ago. If you're in the Miraculous Academy, you've heard me say this. This is the academy where we're with you 7 days a week. Like, I'm talking up to date, people helping people. You want good people and stop feeling alone? That's where we go. I was saying how this winter would be very intense, but there's many countries now where you can see this uproar. They keep pushing and pushing, but dark energies push violations on people when they feel like they're losing, but they know they're losing because there's a birth of new things coming, a birth of a new dawn and a new earth, which will take time to rebuild, guys. But you got to be prepared for what is happening in a positive way. So if you're prepared, my communities are so prepared. If you've taken that, you're sitting back, you can have an extra bowl of popcorn. You can go have some Twinkies if you want to, if you got them in your cupboard. There's a lot of shelves getting empty out there, and they're going to get more empty, and that's okay. That's okay. It'll rebalance itself over time. But, you can sit there and you can take your power and hold your power and never let it go. So I'm going to answer some of your questions here, guys. And I could talk about that forever, because I am so tired of seeing people hand over their power when I know there's a better way. But I also get that that's perfect. That's what they need. But never hand your power. And if you're here, you're ready for something different. Please, if you repeat, I am powerful and I can heal and restore my own body. It's all within me. You have it all. And this is part of the Great Awakening. This is part of what's happening right now, is as people come together, and that energy, oh my gosh, transformation on every level and every layer. Just like Transformation Talk Radio is changing the world. Imagine having a news. Okay, I just told you what goes on up here. It's disgusting what's in our news. I'm sure it's disgusting what's in all your news, but that's going to change. Imagine having news that you turn on every day, and we're telling you all the good things going on in the world. And you know what? There's that little virus out there, and it's probably a little worse than what we've seen before. But don't worry. You have a 99.9% chance of coming through it. If for some reason, though, you are feeling really ill, you make sure you come here, and we're going to take care of you. We want to get you out there as quickly as possible, and you're going to be okay. Don't have any fear. You're going to be okay. We've got you. And I want you to take your vitamin D and your C and your zinc and your quercetin. We want you to be happy. We want you to be healthy. And we're going to teach you how to be eating better. And we're not going to allow all that junk food. Imagine turning on your radio, getting that. Imagine turning on your TV programmings, just like we have here on Transformation Talk Radio. And we're teaching you every day. You can learn more power, more creation. How do we help each other? Imagine that, because that's where this eventually is going to go over time, And that's what I get excited about. So imagine that world versus, okay, everybody's in there and everyone's in the hospital and oh, everyone's dying. And, that doesn't help you. That just makes it worse. But they know that. That's why they do it. So flip the perception, which will flip the energy power within you. And that's why I get excited, because it is going to become mainstream. I know it. I don't know when, but it's going to become mainstream. I know without a shadow of a doubt, we're going to get a banking system that's going to help all of humanity, not what we have now. I know when, I don't know, can't tell you. That's up to God, but I know what's going to happen. I also know we're going to pull down a lot of systems, again, that will work for humanity, for a new earth. So hold that, and you are going to start to repair, because all those things affect your health, every one of them. If you're struggling with money, it affects your health. I've been there. I get it 100%. So this is for Mila. I feel like I move one step forward and two back. I received financial blessings, but then I have to spend it more. I moved into a new title at work 3 weeks ago, and the increase was not on my pay. My manager said she will take care of it. Okay, so usually this actually looks like what's happening, because you have now mandatory things which are going to end up going away because there's so many lawsuits. But I know we got to get through it, guys. Lots of things. This is part of the end of the big movie of things blowing up. I don't know how else to say it. It's going to be through the winter. So what we're going to do is, this has to do about money, self-worth, standing in your power. And you want to know, because when money is coming in and out, that means there's a hard time holding on to it. There's an energy of you that has a hard time receiving it and believing you receive it, and to hold it and to create on top of that. So what happens is we end up getting into situations that keep us either getting booted out of a work, or we're not maintaining that work, and that flow. So that energetic flow. So there's things that we find that we have to use to spend it and use it, versus just say, okay, I'm putting this over here and opening that to different ideas, different people. A lot of times too, like what's going on right now in a lot of countries, which is really sad, and it's going to get pulled down. Don't worry, but it will come to an end, is that, and then they're going to be looking for a lot of people, and they're going to be paying a lot of people a lot of money, because they're going to need them to come back to these businesses. But when you're really in there and you're like, okay, if I'm detached from what this is, and you're detached from this energy, and say, okay, if I'm allowed to receive, I'm allowed to accumulate, you got to start to look, because there's places in your life you've never experienced that. You don't know what it is. So when that energy comes in to accumulate, to receive, it gets actually very lost, very lost. So let's start to remove where that energy is feeling lost, where it's feeling you don't deserve, and where you have to go do something or feel like you have to consent to something that is against your free will. And for you, money always looks like it's tainted. It's bad. If I have it, who's going to take it? Who's going to expect it? But it looks dirty. Like there's this just dirt all over it. So I'm going to start to remove that energy for you, Mila. And I do understand as well that there will be a better outcome with the work and the mandates that are happening. But we got to look at, there's some things that are changing. So what also happens that people do that feed bad energy is, by this day, you have to do this. People that are dictating things, there's an ulterior motive. So we'll remove where other people had ulterior motives. You can also see where we have to get to those certain, they're tossing them out further down the road, and then they start to move through it. But think about this. This is what people don't get, especially if you're struggling. I'll move this energy out. It literally takes people saying no, and you'd be done overnight. Like if people say, I'm not going to follow that draconian measure, that is wrong, it's a violation, and literally a quarter of the people walked out, they'd be done. I know in the business you're in, because I know who you are with this business and mandating all this stuff, they can't afford to lose one of you. Go listen to HR people. They can't afford to lose one of you. So guys, think about the power. Why are you giving away your power versus coming together in numbers, in strength, and just standing quietly saying, we're here. Look at what's happening in France. Look what's happening in Germany. Look what's happening in Australia. Look what's happening all over Europe. They're burning their certificates. They're burning their stuff. They're like, we're done. We're not playing in this draconian place anymore. It's not on your mainstream, but you can go find it. And why can you find it? Because they're coming back to empowerment, to really empowerment in numbers, and to that hand of God of saying, look, we got to come back to reality. but this is the crescendo of stuff moving. So we're going to put some creative solutions, settle down the system for anybody going through this. Thank you, God. And know that you're being moved out of one area into another. And that's exactly what God did to me when I got kicked out of where we were, when that whole company collapsed. And I had that opportunity to go into that lucrative workspace, and I chose this. And I took a leap of faith. I didn't know what was going to happen. You got to take leaps of faith and stand in your conviction. I was like, I'm not selling my soul for a paycheck, but I'm going to figure this out. And I did. And I led in my knowing, and God opened all those doors to got me to where I am today. It was a little leaner at first, sure. I got through it, didn't care. I had enough food for me and my children. I had a roof over my head. I was okay. So look at what can I do if this happens? Because if you get fired for that, guys, that lawsuit on the other side is so big. These guys aren't going to have enough money to pay it. I can see it. There's so many good things that are going to be coming. What can I do, Melissa? What can I do to heal heartburn? I went away for a long time, but it's been back in the past few weeks. Yeah. So what we start to do is we remove the energy of the things that are in the external environment. So heartburn's a lot of stuff that you're swallowing. So energy you're swallowing, and it's a repetitive pattern. So when you had the heartburn before, you can see there was a certain dynamic of people that you were around. Now, a lot of them look like they left, but there's an energy that's showing up in your field that's similar to that same dynamic, like I was saying earlier. And what that energy is, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. So it's violating your free will. It's violating what you want to consent to. So let's start to remove where your body has memories of where you were consenting to information you didn't want to consent to, and where those people felt like it's being forced down your throat. Like, I feel like I want to take my fist and go right down the throat. So the energy comes. So all of that area, the acid, everything starts to come back up. It's like, I'm not going to swallow this. So we'll start to reset the flow of energy that you can swallow things and be strong to swallowing things with ease and grace. We're going to remove a little bit of that timeline. You're ready to let about 80% of it go from when you experienced it before to now. We'll release that all the way out. And we got to reset the acid of the actual stomach and the whole piping, the esophagus, everything. So we'll start to command those organs to reset and the acid to settle down. And we'll start to override that, thank you, God, into a higher frequency. So it also looks like you're ready to jump to a higher frequency, which can sometimes bring up older ailments where you're like, I never had that before. Why is that there? So we just look at it, not consenting, and we're going to start to remove that accumulation of energy at the root of the seed of where there was something left. So it's like you pull a weed in your garden, you go back and it's there like 6 months later or a month later, and you're like, I pulled that weed. You didn't get the root of the weed. So there was still a little bit of a root. So it looked like you had one of the roots. You know, when you pull a weed, there's a lot of roots. You didn't get the full root. So it came back, and we want to get it right at the beginning of the weed, right? It's harder when they're really tall. I was weed whacking on the other day. I'm telling you, when they're up to I'm 5'10". So when they're up to, your waist and higher, you're like, those are big weeds. You don't want them to get like that. You want them to be really little that you can just step on them and pull them out. So thank you, God. So we'll start to remove that. Okay. So Grizel, Dubai. Okay. So the finances and feel forced into things I don't believe in. I feel disappointed and unsupported, starting to cause I want to do so much more. Yes, there is this change. Again, so a lot of light workers are feeling very frustrated because we feel like we're in this blender going around and around, like, give us a bone, like we got to have the break. The thing is, you can see in the energy, a lot of the stuff that we are experiencing now has already been cleared away. So it's going to be moved. But this is literally, I heard this the other day from somebody, and I was on my headset walking my dog. So I don't even remember who said. I apologize. If I do, I will let you know. There's just a forum of a bunch of people talking. And he said that this would be like, okay, I can't remember exactly how it was, but basically this would be the greatest reveal in all of history. Like, this is going to change our course of humanity. So this is what people will be talking about in 50 years, in 2021, when all those yucky people were exposed, and that 2000 years, like, this has been 60 years in the making, guys. So and if you study any of these reports from 10 years ago, I read them. I shared them with my community like 3-4 years ago, and I'm sure nobody read them because they're long reports of what was coming. Right. So you see it, and then you feel it, it. So it's like, this is going to be the greatest time in ever. This is the course and the change of humanity. So we have a little bit more to go. We got to get through into October. You're going to see a lot of things change. and we got to get through this winter. And I'm not saying it's going to take till the winter. That's not what I'm saying. It looks like there's got to be a little bit more energy and information revealed, and then you can slide in. Then you're ready to go. There's some other things, but I'll reach out to you on that. Sherry, Pennsylvania, can you please try pulling the ripcord of my weight again? Oh yeah. So usually when the weight holds on, we want to start to look. So you're still releasing weight from a relationship. So your relationship was still holding a lot of that energy, and it looks like it's starting to reset and to let go. So it's sort of, you built a barrier, a protection energy there. And also there's some other external like relationships as well that they look older, like you let them go maybe 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. So we'll start to remove that accumulation of that energy off. Now, when that energy starts to lift at the root of the seeds, thank you, God, what happens is you notice that you can do things like fast. You will notice, and it'll be easier. You'll notice that you're going to eat. I did this the other day. I had some ice cream. I don't do sugar hardly at all. My body didn't want it, but I ate it and I didn't feel so good after. I'm like, oh, why did I do that? Right. You'll notice that. So I'm human. I did it too. But I realized I don't eat that stuff anymore because it doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't make me feel happy. What you'll start to do is realize that those things, you'll try them. You're like, okay, if you do it once every 6 months, like I do, you're fine. If you're doing it on a regular basis, you'll be going, what happens? But when the energy dissipates, you'll find your eating will actually change. You'll gravitate to things that your body loves and likes, and, stuff that you can enjoy. So that's what you want to look when the energy changes, right? That's why your friends change. When your energy changes, you're not going to want to hang around grumpy people anymore. You're not going to want to hang around miserable people anymore. That's why they leave. And again, they'll blame you. It's what happens, right? Because you grow, but stay within your convictions and your boundaries. Your food, you're not going to want the junk food every day. You might have periods of it, but you're not going to want it every day. You're going to choose something that's healthier and better for you. So this is when the energy shifts. Watch for that and follow it. If you go, I ate that ice cream, I don't feel so good, then you're going to not eat it again, like leave it for months. Maybe you'll try it down the road. If the alcohol is not good, you're going to try it down the road. Oh, it doesn't feel good. Don't put it in your body. The more you force it in the body, the more that will lop onto the energy you already got rid of, and you have to do it again. So thank you, God. I hope that makes sense. Oh, right. Saskia, Scotland. Okay. Can we share how to strengthen the power zone, placing all the organs, muscles in the most aligned and harmonious way? Yeah, I've been working on some of the emotions, but would love to learn how to work with the physical. That's a lot of stuff that we do in the body regen too, actually. So what happens is when you have, so in our power zone, there's a lot of organs that are connected, different, male versus female. And if I got into it today, this is like literally a half-hour lecture, so I won't do that. But what you can do, and this is a fun learning tool, is go and pull up a picture of your reproductive center. Okay. Pull up a picture of your reproductive center. And while you see the names, if you don't know the names of your fallopian tubes and your ovaries and your cervix and your uterus and the birth canal and the genitals, those are just some of them, right? For a woman. Men, you got into your prostates and you've also guys got to look at the urethra and stuff like that, right? So, and your bladder. The bladder goes in with that too. So you want to make sure all of these are, so what you start to do is see them, and you want to start to look at them and remove issues. So go to just follow me here for a minute. When you look at the picture of it on Google or whatever, just go to what part of that organ jumps out at you first. So if maybe it's your ovaries, maybe they're going to jump out first. Maybe it's the cervix, it jumps out first. Maybe it's your bladder. Go in there for a minute and just tune in. Ask your body. Thank you, God. This is how you just do some basics. Ask your body, what is the emotion? What's the energy stuck in there that I want to get rid of? Just have this conversation with spirit. Have some fun play. It doesn't have to be heady. What comes first? It might be something crazy. You might say that's like, I don't know, Bert and Ernie from the Sesame Street. It can be as crazy as that. What happened when you were a child and you watched that show? If you know what it is, you can back it out. So what I like to do is to teach you how to back it out, to teach you what comes first. Don't guess it. Don't get in the head. Then there's a way that you can actually bring all of the organs together energetically so they're holding nice and strong. Because remember, your organs work separately yet together. Separately yet together. Funny, I have a rose quartz lamp over there that just turned on. So spirit's in the house. Thank you, God. Then you start to bring them together. So I can start to adjust them with you energetically to hold everything in place. but to start to learn why these organs are acting up and what is happening. And usually a lot of times in our power zones, there's also something we can start to move out around violations. So there's usually a series of violations. They can be small and big, right? Sometimes people have big violations, sometimes people have small. And violations can be even things that happen in medical procedures or giving birth, like things that are still happy occasions, but the body had some trauma. It can be through a relationship. It can be something sexual that came up that you may not even be aware of anymore. So you can start to sit with that energy and just say, thank you, God. What's coming up? What's coming up? And let it germinate. You may not get the answer right now. You may get it in an hour. You may get it in 2 hours, but that energy will start to move. As soon as you bring your awareness, it will start to move. Thank you, God. So I'm just actually moving some of that energy out for you at that root and the cause of that. So, okay. So hang on a second. Let me just make that adjustment. Sorry, guys, we didn't go to our break today. I want to make sure we get to your questions. Okay, good. So we will put the reproductive. Now, remember, you have a front and a back of your organ. You have a head, a tail, in the middle, like all organs. They're complete. They're living. They're life force beings, right? That's why you have them. That's why you were born this way. Your body is so miraculous and so amazing. Nobody's teaching you that out there. The narrative is just stay at home, don't get fresh air, put stuff on your face. Like there's no narrative. So you got to think about this, guys. And you got to feel, why aren't you getting taught how to have power, how to have that space in your body? Because when you're powerful and when you can work with your body, and then you can go and tell people to look at something. I can tell you how many times in the older days, I'd walk into an office and say, I want to scan for this because I think I have that. Well, how do you know that? Because I think I do. I did it one time. I walked in and I said, I think I have a cyst. I want an ultrasound. I'm going to get rid of it. I like that for that reason. I love it. Well, how do you know that? I'm like, I just think I do. Oh, you do? Okay, thanks. Can I have another one in a month? Why? Because I want to make sure it's gone. Okay. I just said, because I can do it. So she was like, okay, you don't really show up here. So, okay. And sure enough, gone. Thank you very much. I went home, did my work. Sometimes we have things in the body, like what is a nutrient you need? What is a mineral you need? What do you need? Or what does your body require at that time? I know when my body needs a little bit more iron, or maybe some wheatgrass, or maybe it needs a little more vitamin C, or maybe I want to do a cleanse. I know my body so well. When I'm done, I'm done. I go off of it and I just into the energy. That's where I want you to get to. And remember, guys, it's a whole new learning curve. We are working against energies that don't want you to know that right now. So this is why we have to remember, we're birthing. We are in the birth canal. If you're in my Miraculous Academy, you know, we just birthed a new you, like literally rebirth ourselves, but you go through the birth canal. We're in the birth canal right now of the whole world, birthing a new earth. And so it's like contraction and contraction and gut punch and gut punch and contraction. But then we're going to come out and you're literally going to be birthed into this beautiful energy, this light force being. That's going to be so powerful that we're going to start into a new way. I can't wait. Part of our foundation we're creating is going to have, I've been talking about this forever. We help a lot of children in different ways, but we're going to have a whole component that's set for children so they can come and learn. And watch my YouTube channel. If you're not on my YouTube channel, go to my website. You can get on it. We have a show coming up this week. So excited with children. We're bringing some children on. We want to have more kids present in what I do because we're getting ready to be able to this winter or into next 2022, be able to help more children wake up and use their gifts and be strong and empowered. And as parents, watch when they learn what happens with their body, they're a lot more brilliant than you and I. Okay. Debbie, question is about bladders. Yes. Is there something to still hold on to? So when bladder becomes weakened and that whole area becomes weakened, thank you, God. Usually what we want to do is you got to start to command the system to pull up the bladder, like pull it up. So normally there's been unresolved trauma, and simple things just for this show, not to get too heady, is things that are still pissing you off, things that would be still making you upset, things that would be still making you feel irritated. Those are the energies we'll start to move and release. Thank you, God. Rinska, can we shift energy to lift off my fatigue, grief, and anger? Yeah, there's a lot of that going on in the world right now. And that's what this darker energy has been pushing on a lot of very aware people is making people feel very tired. And it's part of that agenda. It was quite interesting. I was talking about this a lot in my academies around just things and thought processes coming into a lot of intuitive space and empaths. And it's being feeded by all sorts of ways. We're all connected and it's not yours. So you have to remember, okay, am I consenting to this? What is really making me tired? Your body just looks like it got completely drained. The life force energy got sucked out. So we got to start to reset the kidneys and life force energy. It's sort of like as you're watching this a horrible thing unfold, but it's going to be beautiful in the end. As we've been watching all these violations unfold on people in the last couple of years, as this energy dissipates, as these people walk away, oh, Charlie's got his space. He's coming to say hi. As these people walk away, my little bot dog, if you haven't met him, I'll introduce you. Charlie wants to say hi. So these energies are taking a wear and tear because it's also hitting the body parts where the body feels it doesn't have any more to give. And we got to increase. It's like changing out your battery packs, changing out the battery life there, force energy there, and letting you know that you do have energy to give. You do have more life force energy. But part of the energy being seeded into the universe is give up, don't have life force energy. We want you to be tired. And I'll start to remove that. It's a collective field. We want you to be tired. We want you to be angry, because when we're in that state, you're disconnecting from the God of your understanding. So we'll start to reset that in the kidneys. So the kidneys and adrenals are your life force energy. And it looks like they got very, very taxed, very drained. Also very important to allow people on their journeys right now, whether you agree or disagree, let it be. Just let it be. Let people decide how they want to show up right now, and they will change their points of view or perception as they go on their journey. Everyone has a journey and you must respect it at all times. Okay. Thank you, God. So Vanita, you want to stay in India long-term till 2020. Yeah. Not a bad place for you to be. I really see that once we get into 2022 and we get into the spring, a lot of stuff's going to be revealed by then. A lot of things are going to be in motion to change by then. And a lot of things are going to be changing, I believe, to the better. I think we've still got to get into 22, 23. A lot of rebuilding is going to be happening, but we're really going to start to feel and see this birth of the new earth. And it's a good place for you to be and be with your family. It's very, very good. Veronica, one of my nephews had difficulty with focus and concentration. They labeled him. I don't like using labels for children because they're so aware. And this is impacting his learning and self-worth. What can we do to improve? Well, one, he's having a very difficult time with the system. So he's teaching people about the systems. So what I would do with children like this, when we've seen them and they've come through, is give them things that they really enjoy. Like ask them, talk to them, like, what do you find boring? What do you find exciting? If they can't find something, we can start to shift the energy for the creative solution to find things that he likes to do, to find things that are fun and joyful and, really energetically aligned for him. He looks like he gets bored really, 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 really fast. And these old systems, I will tell you, that we're getting out of right now, that we're all in, and we've only known in this lifetime, they're super boring. They're super low vibe. They are so low vibe. They're all about greed, manipulation, and control. They're the lowest vibration energy you could ever have. There's nothing high vibe about it. So these children lose their focus. They lose their concentration because they vibrate so high. And then they're labeled as, having learning disabilities and stuff. Let's face it, what they're learning in school, and we all know this as light workers, we were bored, we were frustrated. I'm sure we were all would be labeled back then if they could have. We were so bored with the system, and we knew that it wasn't serving us. We knew that there was more going on, but we didn't know how to express it. So I usually find with very aware children, allow them to express. That's why I'm so excited to bring these children on this week on the YouTube for you guys. Let them express, let them be curious, find out where is the best outlet for them. And you can start to open an energy, and it's like, we call them the portholes, but they're energy that opens in their field to allow this new vibration to come through. And as soon as they find, some kids, it's drawing. I've seen where it's drawing. Some I've seen it's music, some it's, dancing, singing, or, ideally not video games. And I only say that because, well, their brains work very fast, but if it's not So there's some video games that will enhance them. There's others that will pull the frequency into this lower vibrational energy. So thank you, God. We want to move that out. So that's what I would do, is really, let's open a creative solution for things that it looks like he just needs something that when he's on it, it's exciting. So we got to find that sweet spot. He's very, very, very creative, but he's also extremely intelligent and very connected, which you probably know. He vibrates much higher than the family, but he doesn't know how he fits within that structure. This is why we're opening the foundation the way we are, to help children understand that you're there for many different purposes and ways in life. So let's give him that. And really, he's got to know he fits. He fits. Even though he's good to be different, he still fits. And this is okay. This is why labels are so bad. Labels are so bad. And this is why these systems haven't changed in 100 years. They're changing now. So these children can be expressive and creative. And they are our future. They are going to come up with some incredible technologies on health and healing. They're going to come up with some incredible ways of connecting and being and teleporting. These kids are going to be the future. When we're long gone, it's their kids and their grandkids that are going to make the big difference in the world. So thank you, God. So where does that leave us today? I believe next week I have my friend Helena coming on, so that'll be fun. So make sure you tune in. Where does that leave us today? It leaves you with thank you, God, of understanding the strength and the power that you have to heal your body. I really want to challenge you to go out in the world today. Where are you giving away your power? Who are you giving away your power to? Where have you forgotten? And where could that be sitting in the subconscious if you're not getting a result of something? What is in the subconscious that is still blocked from this external space? Look at how hard this external energy is trying to keep people worn down, frustrated. Why do you think there's going to be uproars more all over the world? Because humanity is meant to support and love and encourage, and you're meant to be healthy. And I want to thank that hand of God of increasing that energy into your field. You are meant to be healthy. This whole story that has been created around sickness, illness, and disease has been taken to another level. I'm not saying your body can't come up with something. Any of our bodies can when the body needs attention. It can. But when we come together, right, like a village, not just one, not just this one, but together, that's where real transformation comes. You can repair your body. You can heal it. But it might be letting people go. Don't be afraid to change jobs. Don't be afraid to stand in your power and say, I'm out. I'm not playing with them anymore. And I want to bless all the people right now that have been standing up, whether you're in healthcare, whether you're in banking, wherever you are, standing up for everyone to be free, standing up for everyone to be able to make the choices that are best for them. There's no wrong, no right, but to birth the new earth in love and harmony, and peace, because that's where we're going. So if you haven't got my prayer book, Amazon, you can buy it at the store right now. If you live in North America and you buy 2, you get 1 free. We have a promo for the next couple of weeks, so you can get that on the store. Buy 2, you get 1 free, and I'll sign it for you and send it to you and send it off to your friends and family. And there's great prayers in here. Again, go to the website on the free membership. There's, we did an event there. All the prayers, there's lots of channeled ones for people and lots of blessings and miraculous things that came out of that. So enjoy it and love it. And I think that's all I have to share with you guys today. Wow, our hour went fast. There's a lot of info in there. All right. Remember, you're powerful, you're strong, you're beautiful, and don't let anyone tell you different. Don't consent to what you know isn't right for you. All right. Lots of love, guys. And I'm going to see you next week. Same time, same place. Thank you for listening to the Tracy L Clark Show with me, Tracy L, where I teach you how to connect to the God consciousness so you can unlock your superpowers and connect at light speed and live your extraordinary life. Tune in every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio, where together we will unlock the secrets of your body and your life.
As the founder of the Body Regeneration Academy, I, Tracy L, will provide you with the insight and simple tools you can apply right now in your life to move you forward and leave the past in the dust. To join the Body Regeneration TLC Online Academy, make sure you check me out at tracylclark.com.